We're going to talk about Vol. We're talking about a Star Trek episode. Is that what they did? They did this?
Yeah, this is the salute. This is Vol.
I told you. I reminded you. COVID. COVID. I saw you the first 6 times you did it. COVID. Yeah.
Okay.
I saw a story about the Snitch Nation. I was when I used to go. I was doing that Snitch Nation thing for a while. And they got a thing now that they got snitching. The thing now that's saying you got a snitch. Snitching. You need snitches. You need snitches, bitches.
Bitches get snitches.
Hi everyone, how y'all doing? I'm Scott. That's Aunt BB.
Are you recording now? Mm-hmm. God damn it!
Been recording for 48 seconds.
Doing the C.
You kept doing it. See,
I love old
COVID,
Star Trek.
COVID.
I love the old
COVID.
Star Trek.
Yeah, we see that. COVID. Yes, very good. This place is such a zoo. It really is. It's out of control. Cats walking across the desk, dogs jumping in your lap in your face.
Eating your feet. Shoes.
Eating your feet.
Going for the shoes.
Chewing on your sandals.
Yeah, I come in with the sandals on. And then Bo starts on the sandals, and I have to take the sandals off.
And Bo starts on the feet.
The feet.
Hang on, we gotta put this
Slow
here.
feet.
Slow feet.
Slow feet. Speaking of which,
what?
I will be seeing Slow Hand.
Slow Hand.
Yeah.
You gonna stop by and see him this week?
Monday.
Yeah. How long of a drive is that? Like 6 hours?
Yeah, 6.5 or something. Probably it was 7 with a break.
So he sent you down here to repo his cooler?
No, he hasn't said anything about that.
Your cooler is my computer is sitting on your cooler, Greg.
Well,
she's gonna take it back up there to you, but
you can keep it.
It's a nice cooler. I hate to lose it, but she's gonna bring it back up to you.
So you put that on there so you could reach the USB.
I put that on there so it's not sitting on the floor, and I don't have any room on my table, so I got to put it on something. I figure out something else. I put it on a cardboard box.
Yeah.
He goes, watch Bo's tail, hit it, and he'll stop it. He'll stop the recording. He'll fry the recording.
No.
It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
No.
It's not gonna work. Bo, no. Bo, stop. Get out of there. See, that's what we got to deal with. There we go.
Sit. Bo, sit.
Very exciting. And that didn't work at all either.
He is really slapping that thing.
Yeah, that's why when it hits it the right way, it'll freeze. It'll erase the fucking video. Bo, stop it.
No.
Get out. Get the fuck out. He gets like that when she's here because he's excited and he's extremely jealous, and he'll beat on the door for a while. That's where I took the thing off. Anyway, here we are. It's very moody, the lighting is. There we go. That's a little better. How y'all doing?
Yeah. It's not as romantic.
She likes the mood lighting. So he didn't open that door, did he? No. My life is run by Bo, but you know that, don't you? Sure.
You are.
What is it when
Bo whipped.
What is it when you're Bo whipped? What is it when you're in love? You fall in love with your captor. What is that?
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a hostage situation here.
Oh yeah. So, Aria sent us this. Her niece drew this up. I want you guys to see that.
Yeah, I've forgotten to mention that.
Well, here she is.
Yeah.
And there it is. There's the mastermind. There's the mastermind. I guess
intelligence. No. Pneumatic Everyman Intelligence Network.
I had to kick him out.
He's the brains.
He's the brains behind it. And just so you know, Miss Lithium, Instagram.com/Miss Lithium. There we go.
Miss Lithium.
Yeah, that's the girl who drew it.
Oh, that's her. Oh, yeah, right. Oh, that's her account. Instagram account. Instagram account. Yeah.
There you go.
I forgot her Instagram account.
Okay, so here we are. We have Aunt BB joining us today on the churchdog42 channel. How y'all doing? I hope you can hear us all right. The volume is going to be low because we're sitting away back from the from the microphone.
I might not be talking loudly enough.
So, did you see this? You haven't seen this video yet?
I didn't get to watch it yet.
Look at the hostage look on his face. Look at the hostage look on his face.
Good morning.
Something I didn't mention in the video, which I was talking to her about later, they had people outside. Look at the hostage look on his face. When that guy's talking about that, saying that's the...
Good morning, everybody.
God damn you. I can't refresh it, sorry. So I wanted to get this bigger. This picture of him.
All right.
While that guy was speaking.
Yeah. Oh, there's the thing now. Yeah.
Anyway, it's an interesting story.
It's a military takeover.
Tens of thousands of people are out there fucking protesting, and he's in there demanding Bojo hand over control of operational control. And
it's kind of like 7 Days in May.
Yeah.
Military coup.
Yeah.
I have that movie on DVD.
Do you?
Yeah, I watched it in 2017.
Didn't they remake it?
Not that I know of, no. No. And it wasn't released until after JFK was assassinated. And he let them film. They filmed it when he was still alive, and he let them use the White House to film that. He thought it was very important.
I worked for a studio once that had the go-to Oval Office set that they always use on different films.
They use the actual.
I know that. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Since they don't do that anymore, they can't do that anymore. Back in the '90s, every time they had you saw an Oval Office film video scene in a movie. It was probably a set that I had done a little work on, but if nothing more than just packaging it up and putting it in a truck and shipping it off, but for a different studio to set it up and use it. But they got tons of money for that. But it was a scale replica. It's kind of cool. Anyway, how's your trip going down here?
Well, I've had to rearrange things. Because they right before I left, they canceled my flight to Havana because the Cuban government suspended international flights for September, and I couldn't they couldn't offer me another flight until October 12th, but I'm gonna be back home then, so that didn't work.
Yep. So you had to reschedule things. You came down here. You're hanging out at the hostel. And
I was going to go visit Greg, and then he
got sick.
Yeah, he was in the hospital.
But now you're going to go visit Greg.
Yeah, so he's back home, recovering, and I will make a quick visit.
And then you're going to zip up the East Coast?
Yeah, I'm going to see family in Virginia, or at least just a cousin, because I'm typhoid Mary. My sister said no. She thinks I'm a carrier.
I haven't seen you in 20 years. Nope.
It's almost like
I might catch a cold.
I told her it might be the last chance we could.
But you have to remember, how old is she? She's older than you, right?
Yeah, but she's younger than Jake.
Okay, a lot of people are younger than Jake, but she's
she doesn't have any health issues. Jake does, so he would be more at risk than she is.
But just because somebody's going to be more at risk than you are doesn't mean you have to take on that risk yourself. I mean, she knows that the average age of people, you're not quite there yet, but I think it's like 64 and up, right?
Well, the most at risk is 80 or so. That's when they're really at risk. Well,
late 70s, 80s.
Well,
right.
First of all, she said, okay, she was worried she'd have to travel to where my cousin is and have to spend the night in a hotel or motel, and she was concerned about that. And I said, well, okay, if you're worried about that, I can meet you near your home. And then she's no. So, it was kind of like a lame excuse. And I said, well, if you don't want to see me, then why don't you just say so instead of making lame excuses? So she wouldn't even meet me in person somewhere. I don't know. And of course, I'm not invited to her home. So
no.
That's the message. Anyway, I just said, okay, fine.
You can't bring the Rona into her house.
Yeah. Really.
I didn't know you had 950 subscribers. You're still gaining subscribers. That's because you're not making videos.
Well, no. It went stagnant a full month.
Yeah.
And I'm going, well, that's never happened before. Stagnant a full month. And then only in the last month or so.
You're about to hit 1,000. That's a milestone. What are you talking about? That's good.
I know. No, I'm not complaining.
You were.
But, by Daniel Dumbrell's standards, he was always saying, oh, you're upset that you're not a success like I am.
Really? Who said that?
He's hit 100,000 in less than a year.
Yeah.
I'm going, yeah, that's a thing.
That's because you got all those intelligence agency assets and fucking influence peddlers fucking following you. Friends of Max Blumenthal. That's good. You're going to hit 1,000. Everybody who's not subscribed to Aunt BB, let's get Aunt BB past 1,000. That'll be good. Because then she can be like Queen BB.
And I can monetize.
You can monetize.
Oh, yeah.
And you can sell out quick.
Oh, Daniel Dumbrell, he takes super chats when he does a live stream. Mm-hmm. And he runs like every few minutes in his videos, there's 2 ads that run. Mm-hmm. So it's constantly, Jesus. And he's a success.
He's about that money. He's about that fucking getting that grift.
Oh, he's pushing vaccines now. I know.
Is he pushing vaccines?
His youngest, he posted a thing on Twitter. I'm blocked from him, so I go.
Didn't Naomi Wolf do the same thing?
Yeah, she's pushing a flu vaccine. She's like.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, on his Twitter account. So I use an incognito window in the browser to see his account, and I was shocked. He had a video of him at a private clinic in China, getting his youngest, who's maybe 1 or something. I don't know, 1. I don't know how old this kid is. Young, like a baby practically. Getting shots in both arms and crying his head off. He's getting an MMR in one arm, and I don't know what the other one. And he's pushing vaccines now to a Chinese audience, really, or. That.
Again, I don't know enough about Chinese culture to know whether or not vaccines are mandatory or people think of them as mandatory or vaccines a big fucking thing. I mean, that's part of the story behind the fucking coup is that the vaccine is going to be a thing. And then once the vaccines are out there, they're going to stick with it. And I said this in the video. Once you give them a little fucking power, like with the Patriot Act or with this thing with Edward Snowden that helped out Obama coming out there and saying you got to give up privacy for security. Mm-hmm. Once you give them a little bit of power, a little bit more, they don't give it back. They're never going to give it back. And everyone's like, well, governments are like that. Well, that's the one we're talking about today. That's not the government. That's the military. And the thing about this guy's background. The thing about this dude's fucking background. The thing about that dude's background, he's a fucking master of masters of in business.
A captain of industry.
No. He has a master's in business.
Oh, business administration.
Business
MBA.
administration. He's got an MBA. He's got a fucking. He's got a bachelor in business, and of course, he's a representative of 77th Brigade. Military, and I said this before so many times. And you look at who's typically been the head of the CIA or the head of the fucking Department of Defense, Secretary of Defense, 9 times out of 10, they're business guys. Businesses have said, fuck it. They have hijacked our military like they hijack other countries' military by co-opting the fucking generals and co-opting the ministers of defense. And that's how they ran the coup in fucking Egypt. That's how they ran the coup in fucking 1973.
Yeah, the military is closely tied to business in Egypt. Yeah.
Very closely tied to our business as well.
Yeah.
Very, very closely tied. Yeah. They've done the same thing here. You go back in the was it Lugar Center? What's the thing in
Lugar?
The Lugar Center in Tbilisi. Am I saying that right? Tbilisi, Georgia. Yeah. Pentagon. Georgia. Pentagon created that goddamn thing. Pentagon created the fucking novel coronavirus. They did it in fucking Georgia. Everyone wants to blame fucking China, but they did it for these motherfuckers. They did it so that they could take over, and big business could fucking take over the goddamn all of these westernized nations. But
yeah, I can't get over the business. The business narrative gets pushed so much, and they're trying to push that in China too.
Yeah.
So a lot of the like Daniel Dumbrell and others.
Yeah.
And here's a fun fact. So another pro-China social media figure, Nathan Rich. In one of his videos, I couldn't believe he said this. He was suggesting that China was the new capitalist power in the world. Capitalist. He referred to it as capitalist China. And then he said, and the U.S. is moving towards socialism. And that's why it's failing. That's what Nathan Rich said. And I'm going, all these Nathan Rich fans, and I said, aren't you listening to this guy?
See how they spin shit? See how they spin shit? Yeah.
And I even asked my contact, Chinese contact, I said, you listen to this video. Is that really what he's saying? He said, yeah, he did say that. So China's the new capitalist superpower or whatever. Yeah. And the U.S. is failing because it's moving towards socialism.
That's how they spin things. They turn things on their fucking head. Like, Max Egan running around saying because somebody saw 5-10 business guys from China getting out of a plane in fucking Victoria someplace, that must mean China's behind all this lockdown shit going on and all this fucking fascism going on. And of course, the real reason is because Victoria is the only state in Australia that signed on to the Belt and Road Initiative. That's why they picked Victoria to fucking target. It's not because China's in there turning them into this fucking totalitarian Chinese state. Yeah. It's because they are the only ones in Australia that signed on with the Belt and Road Initiative, and so they're being punished for it. They're being undermined for it, so that somebody else can come along and stop the fucking Belt and Road Initiative in Victoria. But again, you listen to fucking Max Egan, China is doing this and China's doing all the things that we're doing, or that the Five Eyes countries, nations are doing. They blame on China.
Well, Nathan Rich is kind of like he makes it. He couches in terms that people who support China or oppose regime change, they kind of go along with, because the way he says it. Right. But if you really listen to what he's arguing, like he kind of suggests, well, China did the lockdowns right, so what's wrong with the West? And no, it's not the same thing.
No, it's not. They didn't do anything near what they're trying to do here. Yeah, right. It's the same thing. We were having a discussion with that guy on fucking Twitter, and he just refused to fucking understand the thing. You associate, your target audience, and your target audience supports Palestine. What you did then, you want to demonize someone. You say, well, I like them and I like China, but they do work a lot with Israel. I heard them say that. I've heard them use that shit. I've been doing this stuff for a while. I heard them use that shit talking about Muammar Gaddafi. I heard them use that shit talking about Assad back in 2011, 2012. Yes. And I think even Max Blumenthal pushed that fucking stupid shit.
Yes, he did. You're right. He did.
I heard them use the same stuff about Yanukovych. Is that the guy's name in Ukraine they got rid of? Yanukovych?
Yeah.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Right. And I heard them use the same thing about Morsi. Same thing about fucking Morsi in Egypt. They do that. And someone told me, after I brought that up yesterday, someone told me, they were doing the same shit, and I think he said that fucking Bernie Sanders mentioned they're doing the same shit against Slobodan Milosevic back in the Yugoslavian thing. He said that he's seen that stuff done over and over and over again. That's what you do. You take somebody and say, yeah, I'm with you on that, yeah, but they do work with Israel, and they'll do that with anything. They'll toss stuff out there to
there are
guilt by association.
There have been certain supposed Palestinian rights activists who do that.
Right.
Yeah, I've seen that. And Max. Right. Doing that. Yeah, I was very disappointed in that Twitter account because he's been a good guy, and he had backed me up when there was that gang of accounts that came after me, and he stood up for me, and now he's just kind of. He's never talked like that before.
I don't know if that's necessary. What got me was that after I finally laid the whole thing out in like a series of 9 tweets for him how it works. He said, "Well, yeah, I know how. I've seen that work before. I've seen them do. I know they do that." And I'm like, so why are you amplifying it now? Well, because they're getting close to Israel. It's like, so he does the same thing. So he knows what it is. He knows it's propaganda, and yet he's going to fucking promote it.
And I've heard this before about China and trying to connect, saying, "Oh, Israel's selling U.S. military secrets to China,"
right.
And I'm going, "Well, whose fault is that if they're doing it?"
How did they get the military secrets in the first place?
So it's kind of like,
they spy on us. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, this comes up. China and Israel, they're in bed together. Yeah. I'm going, who's in bed with Israel? Let's see, who's in bed?
Who's in bed?
Who is it?
it?
But yeah, China is stealing U.S. secrets through Israel.
China's stealing our secrets.
Yeah.
From it, and they're getting them from Israel because Israel is the one who's stealing them. But China's getting them, so that's bad on China, not Israel. That's bad on China.
Yes, that's.
But then we got to think about it. How many new innovative things have we really come up with over the last 2 decades that have worked?
Yeah.
The F-35? You think they stole the F-35 plans? Good luck with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Good luck with that.
That's another argument.
Maybe they could make a goddamn thing fly.
Well, Chinese, if you bring this up with them, they just laugh. Because they produce things that work.
Have you seen the fucking innovation?
They don't produce things for big business interests to profit.
Just profit from
They don't do that. Right. So it makes no sense at all. None.
Seriously, what have we produced militarily that has actually worked other than ways to spy on your own citizens? Yeah. Israel does that pretty well.
And then they like to shift it to, China's doing this.
China. TikTok.
Yeah. They're hacking.
TikTok is the only application that's reporting your shit back to the government.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
China's hacking.
Really?
China's doing all.
Let me tell you something about that ring thing you got on your fucking door outside. Let me tell you something about those fucking Amazon. Answer my question for me in my kid's bedroom.
I know.
How many times does my 15-year-old kid masturbate? 9.7 times a day. Okay, thank you. Who else knows that, Amazon? About 1,600 different tech workers all across the country and Israel. Okay, thank you, Amazon. There's a balance between the need for privacy and the need for security. And we have to figure out that balance. Thank you, Edward Snowden and Glenn Greenwald.
That's coming up a lot, because of the extradition hearing for
Assange.
And now Snowden, Snowden's come out. He's been very vocal, all this bullshit.
These people are so stupid. I'm sorry, they're just so stupid.
Yeah.
Go back and look at the fucking history. The first they came out and said, fucking Cass Sunstein came out and said, yes, this WikiLeaks thing is going to be great. It's going to be terrific. Yeah. And they're going to tell us all the bad stuff China's doing so we can regime change China.
China and Russia are targets number 1 and 2 for WikiLeaks.
But I mean, that's why he came out and said that. Yeah. And they had only published one goddamn thing when he came out and said that. Yeah. Promoting WikiLeaks. Cass Sunstein.
And the mainstream media was promoting WikiLeaks.
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Here's your sign. What you're saying.
People, Jesus Christ. Oh
I
my
mean,
God, Assange. And I think, isn't he participating via teleconference?
I don't know for certain. I saw that he was behind some glass.
I think he is.
But then I wonder.
That's
I don't
a picture.
know.
That's a standard picture.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think he's participating, but they said that sometimes they've had problems and they can't get him into the courtroom,
okay.
and so they have proceedings without him.
Okay.
Let me explain the problem. He was high as shit the night before doing fucking hookers at a hotel on a beach in Tel Aviv or UAE or wherever is a green zone where you can't get to and take pictures of him. And he was too fucked up in the morning to come in and do the goddamn show. So he just didn't come in. And these idiots are out there, oh my God, free Assange. Yeah. Assange is a lot freer than you are. He's a lot damn freer than I am. That's for goddamn sure.
The narrative, too, about when he was in the embassy. They say, he was detained in the embassy. I'm going, no, he was not detained in the embassy.
For a year.
He had diplomatic status, basically.
And they said in that one article they had already worked out ways so they could get him out if they had to in a fucking diplomatic vehicle with blacked out fucking windows that comes into a garage. The garage door closes. 10 minutes later, the garage door opens and it comes out and drives away. Why do you think they had to call ahead and make an appointment to go in and see Assange? Because he had to get his ass off the floor where he's puking naked, doing crystal meth with hookers, and get him into the fucking thing, drive there, brief him on who he's going to meet. He comes in, he gets out, the garage door closes, he gets out, he does his meeting, which is being recorded by MI6, the Spanish company, and then they go away, and he gives them whatever information they need, and he goes back to being his lovely piece of shit self. And yet, he's a fucking hero.
Yeah.
It's so fucking stupid.
Well, I remember in one of the articles in The Guardian, and they were talking about Operation Hotel,
right.
The operation to spy for Assange, not on Assange.
Right.
And they actually showed, the contractors who were hired. So they would go, they were staying at a suite of flats in a building nearby.
2,100 pounds, no, 2,100 euros a month for the flat.
Or it might have been more than one flat is what I think. And I figure he could easily have been going back and forth with the contractors or whatever, to that flat or...
Yeah, but why? I mean, he's a celebrity. He's a star. He's Julian Assange. They take him straight in the thing to the private jet. No one checks these private jets. Private jets can go back and forth however they want to go. They have diplomatic immunity. They can go, and he goes wherever he wants.
Yeah, but I mean, like when he has to be near the embassy, he could easily stay there. He's not staying in the embassy, and he was not being detained in the embassy.
Yeah,
they keep saying
but why stay someplace a couple feet away where you can be outside and someone takes a picture of you and that's the gig's up? No, they take you to the green zone someplace. They got green zone communities, and he can walk down the street and see other people who are dead, disappeared, kidnapped by the Chinese. He can say hi to them. He can walk on the beach and enjoy himself. Why stay in one fucking... That's possible, but my guess is with Assange...
Well, I'm just saying he wasn't staying in the embassy.
He wasn't staying in the embassy. No.
That's what it meant.
Before the embassy, though, where was he staying? He was tortured. It was torture. Oh my God, the torture.
Yeah.
Where was he staying before the embassy?
He was staying in some mansion or something.
He was staying in a mansion. Yeah. He was staying in a mansion owned by a media oligarch, whatever his fucking name is. Tycoon. Right. He lived in a fucking multi-million-dollar fucking mansion for 14 months.
Yeah.
And the deal is, when they decided to cut this thing out, when they decided to do this Operation Hotel and to repurpose Julian, as opposed to being just the guy that, okay, we're done with him. Now, how can we use him?
Yeah, we can use him. Yeah, in the embassy. Yeah.
When they decided to repurpose it, Mr. Billionaire said, fuck you. You're not doing that in my mansion.
Oh, yeah.
So they came up with something different.
Yeah.
And still outside, oh, save Julian.
Oh, yeah, the fist.
I hate that
fist.
fucking picture.
The fist. Yeah, fist.
That is, and those fucking idiots are out there holding up, clutching this fucking poster. It must make the fucking CIA, the people who are on either the NSA, the CIA, DIA, all of them, it just must make them laugh when they see that shit.
It's so stupid.
It's so fucking stupid.
People are so gullible. I can't. You just point out some simple facts about WikiLeaks and Julian Assange, and they just like.
And if they're going to prosecute Julian, then why don't they prosecute Der Spiegel and the Times and the Guardian? Because they're the ones who published it.
Yeah.
They didn't just publish it. Okay? The leaks were given to WikiLeaks, but then WikiLeaks gave the leaks to these institutions, establishment supporting institutions, and they went through them and decided which would be published. But then after that process, what did they do with them between that and publishing? They took them to the State Department and the Pentagon and said, okay, these are the ones we want to publish. And they said, yes, yes, no, yes, no fucking way, yes, yes, no. And then the ones they said yes, what did they do? They redacted them. What great secrets did he reveal that the Pentagon and the State Department didn't want revealed? No. Zero. Because they okayed them. They approved them. And now you got assholes standing on the street in the rain in fucking London weeping for Julian Assange, who, by the way, is probably getting a blowjob from 3 different fucking Taiwan hookers while doing crystal meth.
It's a hero worship, you know. This blind.
And speaking of blind, why'd you bring up Caitlin Johnstone like that?
I did.
Isn't she like the biggest
her whole
Assange
brand
thing?
Her whole brand. Oh yeah, I guess on her Twitter page she's got that. Oh, with the drawing of Assange with the fist. Yeah, like most of her articles were about Assange.
He was wanted for fucking literally being high and drunk with 2 fucking models in Sweden or whatever the hell it was. And when they passed out, he decided to climb on top of them and slip his little wiener in their vaginas while they were asleep. And Caitlin Johnstone, come on, goddamn, really? And of course, they're lying.
Oh yeah, and here, remember the other part of the story about his detention in the embassy? He fathers 2 children.
He fathers 2 children.
Like, really? Okay. That's torture.
He was going crazy.
Torture. Yeah, I love that.
Pictures come up.
Oh, there's 2 kids.
He's wearing a leather mask with a little ball in his mouth, or he's chained to the thing. Oh my God.
Yeah, like the 2 kids.
Oh
Jesus,
my God.
right. Really?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sure that happened in the embassy.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. No, he was going crazy.
People are very gullible now.
He was doing his wife on the fucking on the ambassador's desk.
I know.
Ah, people are so stupid. Anyway, how did we get onto Julian Assange? Why? We're 34 minutes into this thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then at the extradition hearing, so the 2 witnesses.
That's right. You brought it up.
His 2 character witnesses. One was Daniel Ellsberg of the Courage. What is it? The Courage Foundation or something. And the other one was a journalist who had worked for Der Spiegel. when they were publishing the WikiLeaks.
When he did, the guy who was running WikiLeaks, I forget his fucking name, but he also ran the Center for Journalistic Integrity or some shit like that. Yeah. He also testified, I think.
Yeah, okay.
But did you know the Center for Journalistic Integrity worked with Der Spiegel, Guardian, New York Times, and something else? There was one other, the Spanish one. Le Monde?
Oh, no. El País. El País.
Well, it's French.
That's Spanish. El País.
Is it?
Spanish, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, El País.
So,
I think that's that.
They worked with them to help narrow the field in which could and could not be. Do you know when that thing came out recently showing, oh, wait a minute, look at this. The Gates Foundation has been financing fucking and buying up, and I think the Intercept did something and Mint Press did something, but they didn't make the connection. Surprisingly enough, they've been financing publications like ProPublica, which I mentioned ProPublica today, talking about this vaccine shit. But they've been financing these institutions. And coincidentally enough, they've all been writing glowing shit about fucking Bill Gates and all of Bill Gates' fucking campaign initiatives, all of his programs, the things that he's invested in. One of which, of course, is global warming. But the other, of course, is the Assange thing. Oh, yeah. But did you know that mentioned in that getting money from the Gates Foundation was, of course, the Guardian, New York Times, Der Spiegel, and the Center for Journalistic Integrity, all getting money from the Gates Foundation. All getting money from the Gates Foundation. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that they push this that Assange is at risk of being infected with COVID.
He's really at risk of being infected with AIDS, I think.
He's gonna have to go to rehab or something.
probably where he's at, in rehab.
Who knows? I don't know.
His wife said, "Fuck you."
I don't know if they're married yet. They were engaged. I don't know if they ever got married. The one that gave him the 2 kids.
I wouldn't marry him, would you? He doesn't have a lot of prospects left.
And he has so many other kids he's fathered too. Like
yeah,
I forget how many. I forget. He is the classic deadbeat dad. He just fathers them. Yeah, he thinks his sperm is somehow special, so he likes to father a lot of kids.
I heard that someone said that someone used to work with him.
Yeah, he thinks he's special.
And the person who used to work with him who said that has no problem believing he would crawl up on top of some woman who's passed out next to him and try to have sex with him. Had no problem believing that whatsoever.
Well, he was just forcing himself.
They were asleep. Of course he's forcing himself.
And they objected too because it was unprotected sex on top of that. So,
I guess he was trying to spread his seed like Johnny Appleseed.
But he does something special.
Julian Crotch seed.
But, it's very interesting, his lawyers. Like, I did a video about, it's interesting how
well connected they are.
To regime change and propaganda, yeah.
I did when he had just, was it not him, it was Snowden. When Snowden had run up to, but of course they're all intertwined.
Yes.
When Snowden ran into fucking Moscow and nobody could find him in that small little thing, which is the size of my apartment, by the way. All these reporters in this thing, and nobody could find him. Wow.
Yeah, Assange lawyer, I think, helped Snowden in Hong Kong, and then in Moscow, I think, too.
Turns out that lawyer, it's the same Russian guy I'm thinking about. Turns out he was the one helping Snowden then. Turns out he was one who was working with Hillary Clinton and the embassy in fucking Moscow back during when there was an election going up and they were trying to stir up the Pussy Riot thing was going on. They were trying to say that it was going to be a stolen election. and they were trying to color revolution. He was connected to the embassy in Moscow, our embassy in Moscow, helping bring about that regime change.
But here, poor Assange, and he's got a team of lawyers. He's never got a problem with having defense. Right. People just don't question any of this.
No one questions it. It's not even a team of lawyers. There's handlers. They're just there to make sure the dumbass doesn't do something really fucking stupid like he did last time. Crawling up on top of 2 women who were asleep and trying to have sex.
Oh yeah, and they want people to donate for his defense too.
Oh yeah, of course.
Constant grifting, just constantly. Yeah. Well, the Daniel Ellsberg thing is another,
Ellsberg.
Yeah, we know about Ellsberg. All these.
Didn't they do the same stuff with his Pentagon papers? Didn't they go through them and decide what they could and couldn't?
Yeah. So all these whistleblowers, you have to be very skeptical of them. As soon as I hear that label whistleblower, I take a closer look.
Some do, and like the one that I found for the Lugar Center, that was a different site that had published theirs. Apparently, real whistleblowers out there, people thinking about it, have figured out what WikiLeaks really is, and they're not sending them jack shit anymore. Hopefully.
Yeah, because it's a honeypot, so they're trying to trap people. Yeah. WikiLeaks is you. WikiLeaks. So, what else is going on? We've pretty much beaten the Assange thing to death, even though... Well, that needs to be discussed a lot, especially now, and the connections, Assange and Snowden.
Yeah. And China. Because
China's a big one.
It all started with China. It's all part of that same Chinese dissident group.
Yeah, they helped Snowden in Hong Kong.
They helped Snowden. That's where he went. He went to Hong Kong.
And people said he went there to escape the U.S. and the CIA. And going,
no.
The Asia division of the CIA is Hong Kong.
It's Hong Kong, right. He went there to fucking...
No, he went there to get help.
He probably stayed there. I don't think he was ever even in fucking... I know he wasn't in Moscow. I know he wasn't in Moscow. He never ended up in Moscow. They really fucked up when they said that's where he was, because they had no idea how quick, all these fucking reporters would get there.
Well, like if he was on a plane from Hong Kong to Moscow, wouldn't he be seen? I've never heard anything about...
Well, wouldn't Glenn Greenwald have gone with him and filmed the whole thing with him and talked to him on the plane? Of course he would have. But he was never in Moscow. They just wanted to, back then, of course, you go back to the same thing. They were demonizing Moscow, but they're demonizing Russia back then. And so they also said he was planning on going to Venezuela or one of the other countries that we wanted to demonize.
Oh, yeah, he was supposedly trying to get to... Was it Ecuador?
Ecuador.
It might have been.
It might have been Ecuador.
I think it was Ecuador.
Might have been Ecuador.
And that would have been... When did, let's say, Assange did not go into the Ecuadorian embassy until...
No, I don't think Snowden was trying to get to Ecuador. He was getting to one of the other ones. Somewhere in South America. He was trying to get to one of them.
And I can't remember.
But it was supposedly, it was one of the ones that we don't have relations with. So he was supposedly trying to get there. And they said he was on a plane. Remember, he left Moscow. They said he's got a ticket on a plane. What they failed to realize, because they're stupid and making this shit up as fast as they can, what they failed to realize was there were plenty of seats left on that flight. And all these reporters bought him up and jumped on that plane. Right. And they sat there on the plane.
Right.
No
That's
Snowden.
Right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
So then they had to say, fuck, now what do we do? Yeah. He's supposedly in this thing in Moscow, in this fucking little small area in the airport. It's only so big, but every time we claim he's going to get on the plane, they're just going to buy up tickets and sit there on the plane and wait for him. He was never in Moscow. I doubt he ever left fucking Hong Kong, to be honest with you.
Well, it's interesting. Snowden and Assange, all the supposedly alternative media outlets really push that. And the one guy who really pushes Assange is Max Blumenthal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He really
and
pushes
Glenn Greenwald,
that hard.
obviously.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But Max is always saying, I've been persecuted like Assange. You know, he was Max Blumenthal, I was arrested in D.C. for being a journalist. He's a persecuted journalist.
I forgot that. He did get arrested.
And so he's compared himself to Assange.
But they didn't even book him. They booked him, but they didn't even put him in fucking jail. He got out almost immediately, didn't he? But he was persecuted.
Yeah, but he'll compare himself to Assange, that we're persecuted journalists. And Assange isn't even a journalist. What are you talking about? And Max isn't really.
And he's not persecuted.
No. Yeah, Max Blumenthal really. So that's
funny. I remember that covered that too, didn't I? Forgot about that. Yeah. Max saying he was in prison.
Yeah.
That's right. He said he was in prison. They put me in prison. He was in prison for like 24 hours.
He's comparing
prison.
Yeah, he was. He said he could relate to all these minorities in D.C. who get arrested and thrown into jail. Like, really?
Could you imagine if Max Blumenthal actually had to go to prison for 6 months or a year? They'd be passing him around like a pack of fucking Newports. But my daddy is Sidney Blumenthal.
Yeah, like Max, I still love it that he still shows up at these cocktail events, like his dad's book signing party or whatever. Jesus Christ.
And no one pays attention. No one notices.
That's hilarious.
No one cares.
And then they claim, but his dad's ashamed of him. Yeah, right.
But his dad's ashamed of him?
I know, they'll say his dad's ashamed of him.
Oh my God. So what else is going on? Is there anything going on Twitter these days? I have no idea. I want to thank Aria for the image.
Yeah.
We're going to use that on the... I had to find it. We're going to use that on the thumbnail for this. I promise the next time we did this, we're gonna do this. I told her I looked like Telly Savalas. Is that Telly Savalas? Yeah. Look like Telly Savalas.
I don't know what the heck I look like. I don't know what that is. I like the big ear.
If you had a little more hair, that could be John Lennon.
I'm gonna have to.
I like the fact that you got a scarf in there for you.
Yeah.
That's cool. So I gotta save that so we can keep that. And use that as a thumbnail. Anyway, so BB's going to be here until Monday morning, and then she's off to go see Greg. And
from the Woodhouse Smoking Hot Barbecue is what I call his
Smoking Hot Barbecue?
Because he's losing weight. He said he's losing weight.
And hospital will do that shit. 8 days in the hospital, you lose some weight.
Well, he's on a strict diet.
And she's going to bring your cooler back up there to you.
If you
Thank
want.
you for letting me use it. I appreciate it. And I just don't worry about my computer sitting on a cardboard box. It'll be fine, Greg. And then you're back down here.
Yeah, I'm going up Virginia.
You're gonna stop in anybody else, any other content creators between here and there?
I might. Okay. I might. Okay. A couple, one or two.
Okay. And then you're back here from the 1st until the 8th?
If not sooner, yeah, but definitely by October 1st, yeah. And the weather will be more cooperative. Been a lot of storms. It's cleared up now.
And you're going to change your living environment a little bit while you're down here for your last week. Yeah. We're not going to tell you what hotel, but BB's going to be at a hotel. As opposed to the hostel. Yeah. Lounging poolside.
I want a pool.
Queen BB.
I want a pool.
Yeah.
But I've had to figure out my travel plan, redo everything constantly.
Well, it's just kind of the catch as catch can, but it's COVID. So what are you gonna do? It's a time of COVID. So what are you gonna do?
It's interesting to see.
And she's got to stay 2 weeks when she gets back to Canada. She's got to go into quarantine for 2 weeks.
And I think there's some kind of, when I arrive back, they have an app, and they want you to report before you arrive on the app, and I'm not doing that. So I think there's some kind of screening when I arrive. They'll say, okay, you got a symptom.
There's going to be a video of BD fighting at the airport over the app.
But I'm supposed to go into quarantine or self-isolate for 2 weeks when I return to Canada. How the hell they enforce that, I don't know. But fine. I don't really go out that much anyway.
I was getting ready to say, what a tragedy for the people of fucking Abbotsford to be deprived of Aunt BB's presence for 2 weeks. To be like, Aunt BB's, where is Aunt BB? What have you done to Aunt BB? She's in quarantine. No, not Aunt BB. Well, that's cool. That'll be nice. You can send, hubby out to get stuff for you. Yeah. You gonna wait to get your hair done when you get out of the app, or you gonna do it?
My hair done? What? What? My hair done?
Nothing. I didn't say that. I said nothing about the hair.
What's wrong with my hair?
I said nothing about the hair. I'm the last person to talk about hair. I like the fact that your calendar's hanging back there.
Yeah.
Remember the other one?
Yeah, I like that. That's the one I like.
John Gold.
I wrote at the top, and BB was here. Mm-hmm. And then there's Sticks and Tranny, 5.55 inches. Mm-hmm. And I signed
Jamal
it. My autograph was there. John Gold. Mm-hmm. Me in the middle of the pig being cooked.
I'm a pig.
And Jamal Thomas.
Do you still have the helmet? You didn't bring the helmet down this year.
I didn't bring it. I have it. Okay. It's kind of. I don't want to. It's kind of finished.
It's kind of art now. It's kind of finished. You need to come up with something different. The white helmet.
I've got other helmets that I bought that haven't.
The white helmet.
I have an orange one for Ukraine, and a yellow one for Hong Kong that I have to decorate.
I had to paint the white helmet for her.
And I have a white helmet that wasn't.
Yeah,
that just came white.
A white one. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're now at the 51-minute mark.
Anyway. So I need to do,
laundry.
Video. Well, tomorrow, yeah. I need to do laundry.
You need to do more videos?
Yeah. Well, I made one, at the hostel, and then
Crow's Nest?
No. I still want to do one of those up in the Crow's Nest. Mm-hmm. It's nice up there. There's a nice breeze. Yeah. And it's shaded. And it's an interesting place.
Yeah, it's a good view.
Yeah. And you can, really high up, you can see the surrounding neighborhood.
It would be nice if you could just, buy that place and then say it's no longer a hostel and everybody's got to get the fuck out. And then just kind of turn it back into your house.
Well, it's like
it would kind of look like
it's like two lots, really. Yeah. It's a huge.
It would kind of look like Max Egan's place.
Yes, it would.
Yes, it would. So.
It's a very interesting place. Yeah.
If I struck it rich, that's what I would do.
And it's got the jizz jacuzzi.
The jizz jacuzzi.
Or the Jesus jacuzzi.
The Jesus jizz.
The nudie jacuzzi.
The Jesus jizz jacuzzi. Oh my God. It's in the shape of a cross. It's a baptismal pool.
It does look like that.
And somehow or another they got it there and they turned it into a jacuzzi. And it's just big enough for two people. One person standing.
6 maximum of poses.
6.
I read the
6
sign.
doing what?
I know.
Laying on top of each other?
I know.
It's big enough
That's
it's big enough for one person to stand either right or the left, which is why it's in the shape of a crucifix. And someone to walk down and to be laid back in the water, and then they walk up the other side of the crucifix. It's a baptismal pool, and it's there as a jacuzzi.
Yeah.
Sacrilege.
So,
sacrilege.
Yeah, I've enjoyed this time of year because it's so warm. They have an outdoor shower, and I like that because it doesn't get all steamed up like the indoor showers.
She's told me about the outdoor shower
now
5 times. For some reason, she likes.
I like the outdoor shower.
The Sam Squanch is trying to get through the door. 5 times I've heard about the outdoor shower. Okay, everybody knows you take showers. I think she's trying to tell me something. Is she sniffing at me? and on that note, I'm going to open the door and let Bo come in and attack her.
And then he's going to wipe out the whole thing.
He's going to wipe out the whole thing. So we got to go say bye-bye. Say bye.
Bye.
Bye. Don't forget, Aunt Beebs. She's at 9:50.
Yeah, I will be
if
making
you're
more
not
videos.
A sub.
Yeah.
Did you say you're not going to make any more videos?
No, I will. I've been so busy with, the trip and doing stuff. Yeah.
You've been too busy to take and provide information for your subscribers? I don't think that's what she meant at all. As I was saying, we need to get her over 1,000 subs. So if anybody here is not yet subscribed to the Aunt BB, please do.
That's you, Daniel.
She does. Listen, she does a lot of good stuff here. You can go back and look. I know she's a little unmotivated now because of the Rona, but she's done a lot of good stuff. Talking about Daniel Dunbar and the China disinformation shit going on.
Oh, I want to. You know what I want to? I want
Black
to
Lives
talk about.
Matter.
Yeah.
She's done a lot of good stuff here. She's got a lot of views.
I like talking about Tiananmen a lot because everything it seems to be with China.
It comes back to China. Right now,
Tiananmen,
China's the big thing.
They tried to overthrow the government at Tiananmen.
I even called out Miss Webb again the other day for posting something that was...
Oh, yeah. I couldn't see what it was that she had posted because she's blocked me. I saw that, but I didn't know what she was talking about. Or what you were talking about.
Doing the listen, she's done a lot of good stuff here. If you're not a sub on Beeb, go ahead and zip over there and sub to her, and let's see if we can push her over 1,000. Okay, because she needs that. Anyway, I thank you guys for your time. I appreciate it. Aunt BB said she likes it when I go like this.
Yeah, I like.
You like this?
Talking.
What's that
talk.
What's that dance you were doing? The chicken dance.
Oh yeah.
Take us out with the chicken dance, Aunt BB. One more time. And
It's
with
German.
that,
It's German.
we're going.